Hello everybody and welcome to update number 6 for my concept for a companion app for the Aptera. Before I begin, I want to thank everybody who participated in the test. After my previous video, at the beginning I encouraged some more to take the test to help determine the final design, and the number of you more than doubled. So huge thank you, especially because these kinds of tests can be really annoying. They have no context, there's no direction. Sometimes the prototypes don't work the way that you expect, and that's actually by design, and also because they're also very early along in the design stage, so they can be annoying to work with. It's not always an enjoyable experience, but thank you so much. Your insights were awesome, and they did help us to narrow down which design that you all liked more. Even if you might think, my answers weren't long or insightful, I just told you, this, how useful could it be? Oh, your answers were incredibly valuable. That's what I needed to know, what design fit best, and you guys, you came through. Thank you so much for your help. So what is today's video? Well, I want to do one last test that I'm going to perform here today, and it's probably the least accurate and effective of all kinds of UX testing, but I like to gather as much data as I can before I make a decision. And so after this video, you'll get to see the redesign, which I think is 100 times better looking. I think the prototype that you see that we're used to is just fine. It's simple, it's well functioning, it's efficient. It's just like the Aptera. But I think the new design will give it quite a bit of pop that will make it rival the companion apps that we see for vehicles today. I think it'll put Aptera on a whole different level. So just for some context, of course we already know that for our main menu we have a status screen, we have the controls, we have charging, and we have climate, right? But our last menu here, this is what we're going to be still talking about. We're going to be looking at the layouts for the final main menu, and that is navigation. And Aptera is designed to get you anywhere. And so then quick, simple navigation functions would be fantastic, especially one that can give you an ETA before you step into your vehicle. And so since it's on the main menu, it then needs to be easily accessible and comfortable to use with a phone. And that's what I strive to design for. So let's take a look at layout number 1. So layout number 1 is designed a little bit like Google Maps. And so that's why, it might look familiar, right? You're used to seeing the search bar at the top, and there's a couple controls, on the side there, right? So nice big display. You can see the map just fine. You can see that your Aptera's location is right here. Okay. Now, let's say that the Aptera is, for some reason, far away from you, and you're in another location. Okay. So you'd like to set a course so you can walk back to your Aptera. So what you do is you just tap the icon here that represents your location, and right away it zooms out and lets you see, where you are in relation to your vehicle. I have no idea how you got over here. My goodness, I don't know what you're going to do, right? So right away you get an overview of where you are compared to your vehicle. As well, this button pops in, Navigate to Aptera. So tap on that, and there you go. It'll set up a course, for you to your Aptera. There's the fastest route here, or you can tap directly onto the screen on the route there to pick the second fastest. And so once you tap go, it will create that mapping, for you that you're used to, and navigate yourself to your Aptera. Now, what if you want to plot yourself a course, to Orlando, Florida, right? So how would you go about doing that? Well, as you're used to with the Google Maps, you tap on the search bar, you would type in your little stuff here, and it would take you there. Or you could tap on the icon over here on the right with the little direction symbol. Tap on that, it'll do the same thing. So you got a couple options. You can tap on top of the search bar, which is typically what I do. I'm always used to tapping on top of the search bar. Or you can press the button over here, right? So you tap over here, pretend that you typed in Orlando, Florida, and it will give you your courses. Okay? So, of course, it'll give you several different options, right? Let's take a look at it, though. We can see you're in California and you want to go to Florida. Okay, so it maps that route, and by default, it's going to show you the route that's fastest. And of course, these circles here, what these tell you are how much sun there is, in those areas. How much extra energy perhaps will you gain, as you're going there. And I mean, that's the main reason why I felt like there should be a navigation screen on the main menu if possible, because navigation and knowing how much battery and how long it'll take for an Aptera is different from other electric vehicles, right? In some ways. So why wouldn't those options be there? Okay, so typically, like typical of Google Maps, you have your routes here, and if you want to change them, you tap onto the map, a small little box, and that's how you'd be able to swap between them. Tap on the button to send to Aptera, and there it is. It's sent to your Aptera. And as soon as you get in your Aptera, it is already ready. Like your route is already planned, you confirm it, and you can be on your way. So that is layout number 1. That's the design that's very similar to Google Maps with a couple of advancements that I kind of just thought about. All right, so let's take a look at layout number 2. So looking at it, you're probably thinking, well, that looks the same exact layout as the one before, right? But there is a slight difference. You'll notice that the search bar at the top is disappeared, right? In fact, many who took the test didn't even realize that. And to be honest with you, that's exactly what I was hoping for. I hoped you wouldn't notice the difference. But it is a slight difference. But it gives you some nice screen space, makes it's technically, more clean. But as most of you said, this is clean to begin with. So, that's really good. We want to keep it simple, want to keep it clean, so, it's not too distracting. But here's where you're going to start to see some differences. So, once again, let's say that you are, for some reason, very far away from your Aptera. I don't know, you got on a bus, and for some reason you just kept going. I don't know, maybe you like to go for walks. Maybe you like to walk over the highway. I don't know. But for some reason, you are not with your Aptera. So, you need to set a course to navigate to your Aptera. So you're going to tap on your location, and so just as before, it's going to give you that overview and say, here's how far you are. Do you want to take a taxi, or do you really want to do this? Yeah, I'll do it. I'm up for a challenge. So we tap Navigate to Aptera. So the big difference here, as you'll notice, is that instead of tapping up here to choose your, to swap between routes, you'll tap down here instead, where your thumb is. You can do this action with a single hand, and that's the way you'll get to choose between routes, right? And so that's the idea, is that even with one hand, you could perform this function. And that's kind of the goal for me. I want you to be able to perform these actions with one hand. It means you can do it really quickly, really easily, right? So, again, not a huge difference, but, it is different, and little differences like that can mean a lot. Okay, so let's say that we're, just like before, we're going to plan a route to Florida. Okay? So there's no search bar at the top, so that option is not there anymore. But we have the button here. And so we tap on the button, and there's the search bar. It slides out, right? But you don't need to tap that, because obviously if you're tapping on this, you want to do directions, so it's going to pop the keyboard for you up automatically, right? And of course, you could always tap on the microphone at this point if you want to speak it. And in that way, then yes, you would be even setting these directions completely one-handed, right? But most people, including myself, don't do that. I still use the keyboard. So let's pretend we tap on our keyboard and we set up Orlando, Florida. So again, it looks very similar to layout number 1, right? You have the same routes here. You have the, sunshine, radii there. But again, instead of choosing between the different options up here and tapping on little buttons, they're all down here where you can easily grab them with your thumb. So by default, it chooses the fastest route, right? And then there is one that is, fast, fast, but just fast, not fastest. One with no tolls. And then an option that I think, would be included for something like the Aptera, because the Aptera, again, is the one that will take you wherever you want to go, the scenic route. Okay? So let's say that, you are going to Florida, but you know what? you're not in a hurry to get there because you're in Aptera. You're getting 400, 600, maybe 1,000 miles of range. Pfft, you're camping, right? You got the camp kit in the back. You got the level 2 driving. You got your little puppy in the back, right? This is an adventure for you. So you know what? Instead of trying to get to Florida really quick and trying to Google on the way all the things you could see, how about a route that is already designed to take you through, all these different places? And you can see down here, oh, well, what kind of places, is this scenery route going to take you through? Oh, it'll take you through some national forests and some major cities. You know, simple, right? It will kind of do a little pseudo scenic planning for you. I think that's something that a feature that you'd only find on something for the Aptera because it's the only vehicle that can do it for you and is designed for that very reason. So there we are. The scenic route, right? And of course, you choose between any of these, just using your thumb. Don't got to use, 2 hands at all. Tap on it, send to the Aptera. By the time, when you sit down, the route is already planned. You hit confirm and you are on your way. Okay, so those were the 2 layouts. Okay, so leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what other features you'd like to see that perhaps I haven't talked about, or something you thought. I mean, this is how I get ideas. This is how I get the best ideas. Are from all of you, people that are going to drive this vehicle. Tell me what you want to see from your Aptera. Right? And also finally, take one last good look at this old design. Okay? Take a good look at it, because it's the last time you're going to see it. Unless you all really hate the new design. Then yeah, I'll switch back. But I don't think you will. I think you'll absolutely love it. So thank you everybody again. Leave your comment down below. Thank you so much for your help and your support. And we'll see you soon.